It's here, it's finally here. I hold in my hand that which is the most mythical and sought after video game ever. Kingdom Hearts 3. I can't believe it. It's almost too good to be true. Thankfully though, this isn't actually a dream. And Kingdom Hearts 3 is out, following on from hundreds of years of anticipation and almost just as many spin-off games. That which was started in 2002 may finally come to an end. And honestly, it's good. The story premise for Kingdom Hearts 3 is simple. Okay, it's relatively simple enough. Sora once again finds himself at Square One and needs to regain his strength as well as the power of waking to bring back his friends who are all dead in order to bolster the numbers of their team in order to take on the evil Master Xehanort. Get stronger, defeat the evil. Relatively simple. So now that we've got the general premise out of the way, it's time to start Kingdom Hearts 2.9. What? In Sora's quest to get stronger, you'll continue the normal act of hopping from Disney World to Disney World, solving any manner of problem that arises and have a good fun time with your friends in the process.
Hey! We're leaving!
For the most part, the worlds present in Kingdom Hearts 3 are all rather wonderful. They mostly involve their own unique stories unto themselves that manage to relatively simply mix both the story and themes of the Kingdom Hearts game proper with the Disney characters and settings. Learning from Hercules what it means to be a hero and what gives him the strength to do good. Learning about the importance of potentially missing friends and loved ones with Toy Story. And a plethora of other important lessons and stories to learn. Playing through these worlds are a genuine delight. There's this constant fun sense of humour throughout the entire game, whether it just be the normal everyday hijinks you would expect with Sora,
Hey there!
the surprising bits of humour to cut through Riku's general dour demeanour,
She's like Sora.
What?
or the weirdly endearing scene of Sora not actually knowing how to use a mobile phone.
Huh? What's this?
Magic step!
But I don't know how.
The majority of the experience is so wonderfully light-hearted that even newcomers to the series can find themselves enraptured with delight as they just find themselves exploring through the backlog of Disney films. Even if you do now have a direct line to Chip and Dale. Although, now that Jiminy's Journal is nothing more than a mobile record, I guess we can finally dispel the rumours and theories that it's possibly the Book of Prophecies. Hello?
He picked up!
No.
Where?
No.
How to use the key, but he didn't say where!
No! That said though, not all worlds were created equal. The Toy Story world may be this wonderful and possibly the best evidence of integration between like the Disney characters and the Kingdom Hearts plot, but the level itself is mostly comprised of these large, empty and boring rooms. Sure, it's quite fun and interesting to be this miniature toy-sized person, but the novelty of it wears off rapidly as you're met with yet another large open storefront or a big empty street to fight in, and it's just a little bit boring. The tangled and frozen levels fall into that classic pitfall trap of, well, the classic Kingdom Hearts experience, in which you're basically just playing like a weird reduxed version of the films, sometimes songs and all, and the frozen level in particular is just this banal, grey, boring world of just running up and down a mountain, only interrupted by rebuilding Olaf.
Hey, I'm over this way.
That sounds like Olaf.
I'm over here.
That sounds like Olaf.
Wow. I don't know what we just saw, but wow.
Sadly, Disney princesses aren't the only ones involved in this crime, as the Pirates of the Caribbean level involves this really weirdly ultra remixed version of the second film, maybe the third, and also weirdly involves a moment where everything grinds to the halt to look for some crabs. That said, the rest of the Pirates of the Caribbean world is this large, open, high seas adventure where you're a pirate. And it's great.
It's a real shame we don't have a bigger ship.
Got any idea where we're going?
The game looks gorgeous, and most levels offer a wide and diverse amount of scenery. Kingdom Hearts 3 constantly plays with a wide variety of palettes, thanks to the number of different worlds. This allows for you to have this sort of washed out scheme while you're on the high seas, to this neon-filled cityscape in San Francisco. This level of colour and graphical wonderness is even more apparent during the combat as you fling out spells and all sorts of abilities that erupt in a fountain of colours, and the sheer quantity of variety to the combat definitely helps. There's a lot going on. Attraction moves, flow motion, upgraded spells, combo moves with your partners, transforming keyblades, and shotlock commands. It can all be a little hard to keep on top of, and even a little overwhelming at times. A new entry to the series are the attraction commands, where Sora and the gang summon some form of theme park ride to assail their foes with, and these are genuinely visually stunning and impressive.
Wow. I don't know what we just saw, but wow.
But suffer from turning up every single fight. Much like the rides they're based on, when you experience the pirate ship every 30 seconds, you're gonna feel a little sick of it. You can carry out a number of flow motion moves, which are the things that were introduced in Dream Drop Distance, which mostly involve you dashing into a wall or a post or something like that, and allowing you to do some sort of special dash move. But you'll rarely ever do this because it's often forgotten. Your teammates will often end up calling out with some kind of special move in mind, and these all have a wildly varying effectiveness. Sometimes you'll do them, a lot of the time you won't. You've also got these shot lock commands from Birth by Sleep, in which time slows and you aim your reticle around to try and target as many opponents as possible. And you rarely ever do this because there's just far too much else going on. Then you've got the two main functions of combat that you'll actually be using, which kind of all fall under the same bit, which is another hang-on from Birth by Sleep, the style changes. As you perform your combo, depending on the moves you use, you'll sometimes unlock a special ability. It could be an advanced version of a spell you've used, or the ability for your Keyblade to transform. Yeah, your Keyblade will transform into almost anything really. A hammer, a sword, yo-yos. And this sort of weirdness may explain why there aren't actually that many Keyblades in the game. So this is the new Keyblade design we're currently working with. It's a good start, but what does it transform into? Excuse me? Transform, change. What does it change into? They all change into something. Look, I can always get other people in if you're not up to this task. Why doesn't it transform into a pen? Then you write the heartless and angrily worded letter. I like it, but then what does it change into? Right, why doesn't it transform into a postbox? So then you post the letter and it gets sent to the heartless where they read it and then feel bad. Brilliant! The thing is that while all of these Keyblades change shape and form, sometimes twice, they also greatly alter how your attacks carry out, including magic. Magic and Keyblade transformations add so much potential diversity to your combat that everything else falls to the wayside as you alternate between slapping the attack button repeatedly and casting spells. The combat isn't exactly difficult, but it is fun and visually appealing. Yes, you are lambasted with far too many prompts for other abilities and effects, almost like the game is desperately trying to remind you of these other aspects, and in some cases, they definitely work. And while it never feels like it muddies the combat, it can also just feel like a waste and a bit of a nuisance. But gosh, if it isn't satisfying. But now it's time to talk about the big boy, the most contentious point, the point on everyone's lips. The story. Or at least the weird JRPG nonsense story that Kingdom Hearts is quite well known for. The Kingdom Hearts 3 game has some movies you can watch at the very start, which are kind of like recap films in case you've never seen anything or don't understand anything. I've not watched any of these, but I assume they're good. And at the same time, the story is not actually that complex or doesn't require that much knowledge of the deep backstory lore that you can't kind of easily work out what's going on, or work out who was friends with whom, or well, who was previously friends with whom, from the fact that they keep on mentioning it every 5 minutes.
You know, we did both summon Keyblades. Gotta celebrate.
That said, areas of the game that tend to be a little denser and require a bit more of that background knowledge do tend to have large moments of almost needlessly thick exposition. Man, I'm really hungry. Hunger? You mean the sensation you get in your body when you've not eaten food for a while, brought about through the rising levels of both glucagon and adrenaline, thus stimulating the body to try and refill itself with nutrients? Yeah, what are you doing? We know this. Knowing? Ah, you mean when the mind has stored information pertaining to a specific subject in a form of comprehension and understanding. I'm getting a sandwich. To say that Kingdom Hearts generally has a story comprised of complete and utter nonsense, Kingdom Hearts 3 manages to do a fairly decent job of just having a good story that almost ties everything together. It also tends to have some of those odd sucker punch moments full of emotion that just make you want every character to just be happy. Is that too much to ask? That said though, it does also begin to feel a little bit rushed in some areas, as you get all these characters from all these different games finally meeting each other for the first time, and no one bats an eyelid. Or very few ever get a costume change, so almost 90% of the cast are all wearing those gosh damn black coats.
Whatever you're talking about, I don't care.
But at the end of the day, Kingdom Hearts 3 is a genuinely enjoyable action RPG experience, filled with this wonderful Disney experience without ever diving too deep, too rapidly into the weird cryptic nonsense. Yes, it does kind of flip-flop between these two states of happy-go-lucky Disney fun and weird anime nonsense, but at the same time, it's just kind of fun. If you find yourself having never played Kingdom Hearts before, a single Kingdom Hearts game ever, and you're kind of on the verge of wondering whether to unlock your wallets to buy this game, well, maybe you should, because I think you might enjoy it. And if you're worried about not understanding anything, well, friendship is your power, because there are hundreds of summary videos that exist that will explain everything prior, including mine. Hi, and thank you for watching my video. It's about Kingdom Hearts 3. If you've also have any thoughts about Kingdom Hearts 3, why don't you leave them in the comment section down below. Expect some more stuff. Maybe I might talk about the actual plot in a summary sense. Don't hold me to it, but possibly. Otherwise, I do have some other videos. Here's one, which is a Kingdom Hearts 3 story summary. That's always good and fun. Took a gosh long time to make. This one will be something else. Maybe about Kingdom Hearts. Probably about Kingdom Hearts. And then if you click on my face, there will be a subscribe orb that allows you to subscribe to my channel. Thank you, and goodbye.